Am I turned sideways?
Yes, you are.
On social media here and there. And by the way, we started this on MySpace. Don't judge us how old we are, but that is where we did it all back in the day. And we thought, well, maybe, and honestly, my first initial reason I did this was, well, a couple things. Number one, people I really trusted and liked told me about it. Number two, I would like to be able to help more people, but at the same time, I wanted a discount. And the discount probably is what catapulted me to begin. So my name is Mindy Lawhorn. I'm a wife and a mother. I'm actually a wife of a cancer survivor. We are dealing hot and heavy with cancer right now. I have a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old, but I began this 10 years ago, 70 pounds overweight. I had just had my second son with no clue how I was going to get the weight off and kind of get back to where I wanted to be physically, emotionally. If you've ever had a child, you know it's just a really weird time right after you have a baby. You love it and you're so happy, but everything else just does not work right. And I started it at that time, which would have seemed like the worst time to ever begin this, but I have to be honest, it was the best time to do it. I didn't begin working the business immediately. I was just, I've got to feel better. I have to lose this weight and I want to be the mom I want to be, but at the same time, I'm not there and I want all of that to come together at some point and get us going as a family. I had just got remarried and everything was new and I was 70 pounds heavier. That being said, I grew up the last of 5 kids. My nickname was CC growing up, which stood for Chubby Cheeks. Like, who wants that name? Every time I think about it, I'm like, why are they so mean to me? But I just grew up heavier, was kind of a little bit unathletic, and I thought, how could fitness be a part of my life if that's my story? But the beautiful thing that I had learned about fitness up until that point was it has nothing to do with how athletic you are. It's about your determination and your will to keep going and doing it every day. And I thought, okay, if I've lost weight before and I have this new baby and I have this new thing in my life, if fitness is about your will and your determination and maybe finding that thing you'd like to do and just doing it, I can do this. And that's honestly where all of that began. Fast forward 10 years later, I started working the business about a year after I signed up, which is not the story of these ladies here, but I decided I'll give it a shot. And all I did was help people in the way I was helped. All I did was ask people to, do you want to try this? This is what I like, and this is what it worked for me. Do you want to try it? I wasn't salesy. I refused to put stuff on social media or just talk to people like, hey, do you want my stuff? I just refused because I don't like it when people do that to me. But I knew that what I had worked, and I loved it. And it was such a fun opportunity for me to not only, kind of pour into other people, but it poured back into me. And I lost that 70 pounds and then some. I also felt kind of like I had a new lease on life. I not only was a mother now of 2 boys and a remarried woman, but I felt like I had something for me, and it like gave me energy and excitement. It fell right into the line with our values. It fell right in line with our faith. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. So fast forward 10 years later, we have done very well with this business. In my downline, we have thousands of people. I think the last time I checked, it was around 40,000 people. By the way, no, I did not talk to 40,000 people, but I talked to one. And then I talked to another one. And then I talked to another one. We have hit the top rank within our business. We have 5 business centers. My husband's now a Star Diamond coach, which he would so not work this business, but all he did was share what's working, for him. And then we have done very well in this business. This is all we do. My husband retired about 5 years ago. And I just share with people what works, what I like. I encourage people. And that's honestly my story. That's kind of how it all happened. So if you think about yourself when all of these ladies tell their stories, I just want to think, where do I fit? Because maybe you are super athletic and maybe you didn't grow up chubby and maybe you're just amazing, in all these other aspects. You can do really amazing in this as well. But I also want to share with you, those of you that have those negative thoughts right now, oh, I can't. Or I don't know how to do this, social media thing, or I don't even know this, this technology, as my mom would say. It's not about that. It's about you being willing to do your part and stay within a program and just try to be a little bit better every day. And then eventually sharing that with others. And that's it. You don't have to do it any special way. You don't have to kiss your drink or your shake or whatever, or show your bicep, or you don't have to take a picture of yourself in a bathing suit. First disclaimer, misconception. But it can be your own way in your own time with your own values and the things that are important to you. So that's a little bit of my story. Here we are 10 years later, still doing very well. I have the most amazing friends from this business, but it is, I believe, part of my purpose. And I would have never thought that 10 years ago. But one of the things people ask me a lot is like, okay, what do you do as a coach? And here's what I hear that you do. So I want to talk to you real quickly about that. Number one, let's go through some misconceptions. Misconceptions are that you have to take pictures of yourself in a bathing suit and that you have to have a beach body every day of every year. And that is so not true. Other misconceptions are that you have to contact all your relatives and all your friends on Facebook and tell them you want them to buy this thing. They need to buy this thing. Not true. You also don't ever have to have any product at your house. Have you ever had that friend that maybe did that makeup thing or the other thing? You walk into their house and their dining room or their office has all this stuff, random lipsticks, random eyebrow pencils, all this kind of stuff, and it's just sitting there hoping, someone's going to text her or come over and buy stuff. We don't have to do anything like that. And but thank you, Lord, for that. But they would order everything on their own whenever they want it. You don't have to keep anything at your house. You also don't ever have to run groups. You don't ever have to post stories about yourself or things that you would ever feel uncomfortable about. If you can think of something right now you've seen that you're like, oh, that's what they all do, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not true. You can do this in your own way. And I believe that these ladies here and myself are really good examples of, I do this as part of my life. I talk about my husband's cancer. I talk about my weight loss. I talk about really funny things. I love hair. I love eyelashes. I love my voice. I love my schnauzers. Like, that's kind of how we talk to people. And it just seems to work its way back to, now, what is this thing you're doing? Or I noticed you've lost weight. Or what is this fitness thing? Or what is that drink you drink? And it never begins there, because I don't think any of us would ever feel comfortable talking to a stranger about, hey, do you want to do this? Or what would be the worst thing ever? Going to a stranger like, hey, so I see you need to lose weight. I've got this thing. It's so not like that. It's completely on your terms and in your own time. The really cool thing is we have a lot of trainings that tell you exactly what to do with your time. If you have an hour a day, we got that. But specifically, we every day do kind of what we're doing here. We talk to each other. We read personal development books, which may sound so lame, but they're the key. They grow us from the inside out. They're what takes us from like short-term thinking to long-term thinking. Thinking like, I'm so excited about the weekend too. I'm excited for 3 years down the road because I know what I'm going to do here, and that's what I'm working towards. It helps grow you as a person. I can't speak enough about the importance of that. But every day we do our own workout. We typically drink a shake because we love it. Those that don't love it, they don't have to drink a shake. It's not mandatory. We share with people what we're doing. We encourage people every day. I try to encourage people, excuse me, very loud coughing husband there, sorry. We encourage people with our lives. We tell our stories. We give the recipes we love. If you're not a recipe person, then you don't do that. We literally reach out to people and talk to them about normal stuff. And then we'll invite them to something we're doing at some point. But it is out of the overflow of what we're already doing. So every misconception that you're thinking of right now, you don't post like stock photos of Beachbody people and Beachbody things on your Facebook. It's just you living this out in your life, in your terms, in your own time. If you want to run in a business like this, we will run with you. If you're like, I just want to get the discount and kind of look around, then we're just going to give you all of the directions on how you find those things. So it works so well in the life that you have now, but I would be amiss if I didn't say this has changed our lives. And I know that people throw that term around so easily, but I mean, we had debt when we first got married. We are debt free now. My husband used to work hours and hours and hours. He would come home at 7 only to work out, put the kids to bed, and then we'd start it all over again. He works here from home with me. It has made his cancer treatment so much easier. And living with that busy life of cancer and kids, this business fits in that perfectly. I can't not work it because he has cancer. I have to because he has cancer. And it just brings all of it together. Fitness is a way of life for us. Our kids know about it. It's a non-negotiable. We just do it. And it's because of that decision 10 years ago that all of this flow has happened and has led us to where we are today. Take a second and just think of yourself, okay, what would it feel like if I didn't feel so stressed? What would it feel like if I had a little more freedom and money and time? What would it feel like if I actually felt good about my body? What would it feel like if I walked by a mirror and didn't go, oh, ugh, or I walked by a mirror and went, well, it's not so bad. And I think that that kind of confidence comes from all of the things I've just described in working. So I'm going to pause on all that. I'm going to hand this over to Holly, let her tell you a little bit about her story, and just share with you how important some of what this business has done for her in her life.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that was just such a blessing. I always love hearing you talk to Mindy, and Mindy and I are dear friends. We actually go way back beyond this. So my story kind of begins, well, you know, when I was not a fit child either. In fact, the reason that I fell into, actually, I pushed myself into the fitness industry is because I grew up a very chubby kid. I grew up a child of fast food nation. I learned, basically we ate out at least 2 times a day. Usually it was at least lunch and dinner. So breakfast was like cinnamon toast or cereal or something in the morning, and literally twice a day minimum. That was my childhood. That was growing up. My parents were entrepreneurs, which is really great because it did like put a little entrepreneurial bug inside my soul. And so I really understood what it takes to run a business. But at the same time, it put a very bitter taste in my mouth because I thought in order to run a business, that meant that the business runs your life, that you're always tied to your phone, that you don't have time for your kids, that you are always, always, always working, that you had to be a workaholic, and that money was always tight and it was always hard. And that was my conception of owning a business. Now, fast forward, you know, it did instill in me those cool, like the cool flexibility that, that having a business has, because it does give you a lot of flexibility, but at the same time, I was a little bit bitter, and I said to myself, I'm never going to own a business. Okay. So because of the way that I grew up, of course, poor nutrition led to lethargy. And then for some reason, one day I said, I want to be in gymnastics, and my parents let me sign up for gymnastics. And, as round as I was, and I was 12 years old, I enrolled in gymnastics. And that's really when I first caught like the fitness bug. Like I was like, I can some way, some shape, I can kind of control my body and how I look and how I feel. And I really started feeling the benefit of like accomplishing things and achieving things. And it made me learn self-discipline and so many other wonderful things. The coolest thing about that is that it really helped me to start to figure out like one of my passions, which is like understanding kinesiology and like where your body is and et cetera. So that fueled me to get into the fitness industry later on as well. Because I decided, I'm like, you know what? I need this accountability in my life. The majority of my family members were obese, fighting, you know, heart disease and many other health conditions that can be controlled by diet and exercise. I hadn't yet figured out the nutrition side of things, but I really wanted to figure out the exercise side of things, and I wanted accountability. So I went into the fitness industry. I eventually met Chalene Johnson. She actually trained me to teach turbo kick. I think it was like the second time I'd ever done the format. So I looked really ridiculous, but she trained me. And then a couple months later called up the school looking for me and said, hey, that girl, Holly, she made a good impression on me. I'd like to hire her. Fast forward. So I ended up working for Chalene Johnson. I started as an intern. Eventually, I became vice president of the company. And that's actually where I met Mindy, because she came on board as one of our presenters. So all of that background, I want you to think about the things that I have a lot of experience when it comes to business and what goes into running a business and a physical business. So at Powder Blue Productions, that was Chalene Johnson's previous company way back before Turbo Jam, Turbo Fire, Chalene Extreme, all of that, and PIO. We were a fitness certification company. We taught people how to teach fitness trainings. Okay. That meant we created products, physical products, CDs, DVDs. We had to worry about licensing, legal stuff. We had to worry about artwork. We had to worry about photo shoots. We had to worry about packaging. We worried about literally anything and everything that you can possibly think of to put together for one product. We did on a scale of hundreds of products, hundreds. I mean, over the years, probably thousands. We built that company I was the second full-time employee ever, and we built it to a multi-million-dollar company that eventually Beachbody ended up purchasing. And so when I think about people who say they want to start their own businesses, I know what it takes to go into that, But I want to encourage you, and I kind of want to put two things on a platter for you and say, there's a huge difference between physical business and an online business. And one of the biggest benefits of an online business, what we do, of course, we talked about flexibility already. You know, you have a tremendous amount of flexibility when you own your own business. But when you have an online business, then you can kind of do your business at any time. It's not like it was 10, 20 years ago where you had to go knock on a door to sell a product. We have social media at our fingertips. Everyone's walking around with a computer in their hand. And this is how even mainstream companies that have been around for decades and decades are reaching people. We have the ability to do that. So I want you to think about this company, this opportunity as an online franchise. Think about any successful franchise that you can imagine right now. McDonald's, Starbucks, any successful franchise. What do they have in common? They have a template. They have a formula. They have a recipe. So if somebody goes and purchases a McDonald's, they don't look at the menu and say, okay, now I'm going to reinvent the wheel. What menu do I want to put together to make my McDonald's successful? No. You don't do that. You take the pieces that are already successful. You purchase the franchise because you're purchasing the business model. And that's how it is with an online, that's how it is with a franchise, a physical franchise. Now with an online franchise, something like this, you are becoming part of a community where we teach you how to use the systems that have worked for decades, but also how it's changing in today's time. Okay. Because everything is going online and a lot of companies are going to this type of format. Why? Because it works. Because the best marketing is when your best friend says, oh my God, did you see that movie? It is amazing. Or, hey, I'm watching this new show on Netflix. Or, hey, I got this new lipstick and it stays on all day long, right? That's the best marketing, word of mouth. And so that's where we come in. We just share the things that work for us, the things that we're passionate about. When I started this business, I had a very successful career in the fitness industry. I was teaching group fitness classes. I was presenting, teaching people how to be fitness instructors. I was also working for Schilling Johnson's company as vice president. But let's just calculate all that. Like on an average week, I was exercising anywhere from 10 to 30 hours a week. So that's a lot on my body. And my work schedule was anywhere from 60 to 80 hours per week. And so working like that and having as much debt as I had, because unfortunately I did have a lot of debt. I was part of the wonderful market crash of 2008. And so I lost a home in that. But all of that being said, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to keep that up for very long. And I had so much debt and I was recently divorced. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And enter Beachbody. And of course, immediately all my resistance went up. I was really against it. I was nervous because I was barely even on MySpace back then. I didn't know anything about network marketing or online marketing, but I did see a pattern that this could be something that was in line with my life. And the way that it was presented to me was like, look, you're not going to get rich quick. It's not easy. It will be challenging, but it's going to be worth it. And if you put your nose down and you work hard for the next 2 to 5 years, you could be completely financially independent within those 2 to 5 years. And you know what? It worked. It worked. I think the first 6 months in the business, we were able to earn, I believe it was about $30,000. And then it just kept increasing from there to where, yes, I was able to pay off all the debt that I had within 2 years. Now today we're full-time parents. My husband and I both work from home. We work part-time when my kids are at school only. So about 16 hours a week. I have 2 little ones, which I virtually took the whole first year of their lives pretty much off of working. I just wanted to be with them. I did keep my business afloat, but it wasn't in growth time. So this business has allowed a lot for our lives. I want to talk to you a little bit about why I believe in Beachbody so much, why I believe it is superior in my opinion to other options. You already know why I think that online is way to go as opposed to like having a physical business, because having a physical business, you have to physically be there. With something like this, you have flexibility, so you can actually work in little pockets of time. And that's exactly how I built my business. Like I said before, I worked like 60 to 80 hours a week, depending on the week, depending on how many certifications I was doing over the weekends, etc. So I had to fit this in the addition too. So I needed to figure out, I had to be real smart. So I worked 30-minute drive. I used my drive time 30 minutes on the way to work. I used my drive time 30 minutes to the gym when I taught my classes, and I used my drive time 30 minutes on the way home. And then I did like maybe another, if I wasn't exhausted, like another 30 minutes on the computer when I got home. So yes, I worked on average 1 to 2 hours a day, and maybe a little bit more on the weekends if I didn't have certifications. But I really only had to put my nose to the grindstone really hardcore for that first year. And then I went, okay, now I'm making this. I'm able to take those things off of my plate. So I was able to do this. And eventually I was working, just doing this, just doing this, like I said, 16 hours a week, and been able to, drastically increase my income. I believe now we make about 6 times now at 16 hours a week what I was making when I was working like 80 hours a week. And that's nothing like special about me. That's the model of like something like this is possible. That's the model of any network marketing company, to be honest with you. However, the difference is in how you feel about aligning yourself with a company. I believe in health. I believe in nutrition. I believe in fitness. I believe that there is no get rich quick or magic pill. If anybody ever tells you, oh my God, it's so easy to lose weight, you just take this and then you're losing weight, you can eat what you want, it's BS. And we teach legitimate nutrition, legitimate health, legitimate fitness. Everything we offer is all natural, no preservatives, no artificial anything. So that's one reason I believe in what we do so much. There have been many other companies that have come and gone in the time that we've been with Beachbody. And every now and again, maybe somebody will go to that company or somebody will go to that company. And I just think to myself, a $20 shake a month? That sounds too good to be true. I don't even think you could buy Top Ramen, like enough servings of Top Ramen. Do you guys know what that is? I don't know. That's how I survived college. But it was like 50 cents a package or something like that. I don't even know if you could get that for $20 a month. I can't do math in my head. But why Beachbody? Beachbody's legitimate. Like it's real. You're not going to, we're never going to tell you that, oh my God, it's so easy. You know what? The hardest thing is just setting aside the time and then saying, I'm going to do this. The hardest thing is probably believing in yourself. And that's where we come in. We come in as a team to stand beside you and tell you, I believe in you. Even if you don't believe in you, I believe in you. And that's what my mentors did to me. And that's what we did for each other in the beginning too. We're like, I know me. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try, because I had a really big reason for wanting to do this. And so I want to just challenge you guys. We have a fantastic team. We've got great training. You never have to invent anything yourself. We've got tremendous systems. We have strategies that's going to get you through. I just want to encourage you guys. So now I'm going to turn it over to our good friend, Jackie Woodfin. And I'm going to, here you go, Jackie, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. And I can't even tell y'all how much mad love and respect I have for these women. And it's just the surface of the relationships that I've found in this business. I'm going to talk to you and share with you a little about my story, and then we're going to talk money. Ooh, some people love to talk about that topic and some people hate it, but we're going to talk about it because it's important in this business, either way you look at it. My name is Jackie Woodfin. Like Holly said, I'm a wife and mom. I absolutely love what I'm doing. I've been doing it for a little over 10 years. And my story started when I lost 33 pounds with this little program called Turbo Jam. And it rocked my world. And I want to tell you, for 2 years, I shared this program with people only because people would ask me, how did you lose weight? What are you doing to lose weight? Or I so enthusiastically shared with people, or when I gave my 2 big pants away, they wanted to know, how did you lose this weight? And I did that for almost 2 years before the coaching opportunity was ever there. So it just made sense when the opportunity came up for Beachbody to reward people who were doing exactly what I had been doing for 2 years, sharing and helping other people. that I would jump on that because I'd already been doing it, and it happened at the most opportune time. My husband and I at the time were living paycheck to paycheck, seriously, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I always think about this time of year when it rolls around because Christmas came around and it was not enjoyable for me. It was very stressful. We had 4 kids at the time, and to provide and give to them what we wanted to, we had to go in debt. We had to put that on credit cards. I didn't want to have to do that. Nobody wants to have to do that. So this opportunity came at the right time. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how I was going to make it work, but I believed in the people that shared it with me, and I had seen so much success in what they believed in. So I jumped in. But here's the really cool thing. To get started in this business, there's a $40 opportunity where you can start. If you just say, I just want to be a discount coach, I just want to jump in here and do this, you can do it for $40. But that $40 can be waived if you buy what we call a challenge pack, or what I love to refer to as a success pack. It's what you need to get started with every program we have for an entire year, every fitness program we have, a month of Shakeology or one of our performance lines. It's the best opportunity, and that's why I call it a success pack, because whether you're going to work this business as a full-time coach or even a part-time coach, it sets you up to be successful in that way. Or if you just want to get personal results, it sets you up for success in that way. So if you chose to start in this business with $140 or $160 pack, there are several different choices that you have in what products you put in that pack. Then that $40 startup fee is waived, which is a very cool thing. When we started, we didn't even have success packs to choose from. I love that Beachbody is innovative and continues to evolve and help coaches getting started with what they need. And so when we started, it was only the $40. And so I absolutely love to think that I have built a multi-million-dollar business off of a $40 investment and a lot of work. A lot of work, because it is not easy. Once you start as a coach, though, once you initiate the startup, whether you do that with a success pack or the $40 coach sign-up fee, there is a $15.95 monthly coach fee. And a lot of people are like, why do we have to pay something every month? That gets you 3 websites, incredible, well done, professional, beautiful websites, as well as an online office it has so much valuable information there. Product tools, marketing tools, training and support tools and guides, as well as customer and coach management systems. If you've ever tried to set up one website on your own, hours and hours, you could never do that. It was never worth my time to try to set up a website for $16. There's no way that could happen. If you've ever tried to hire a company to build, design, manage a website for you, never in a million years could you do it for $16 a month. Not at all. So when I think about the minimal, like this very nominal $15.95 fee a month, I'm like, I would do that 1,000 times over for what we get. So that's what that fee is for. It's just to support you and help you run and manage your business better. So when you think about that, there's no way for that $40 to $200 investment, depending on the success pack that you get, that you could open a business for that. You could not go open a photography studio or a clothing company or a boutique. There's no way you could do that. You have the opportunity, and every one of us that have spoken today have jumped on that opportunity and built multi-million-dollar businesses from our homes, from where we're vacationing, from our grandma that we're visiting, wherever we are, we're able to work this business for a very nominal investment in what we have in this company. So how do you earn money? Because this is always a big question, right? And people can say all day long, oh, I don't want to think about the money, or I'm not in it for the money. No matter what business you're in it for the money. If you go to work for a lawyer or an accountant, or you work in the restaurant industry, whatever business you're in it for the money. And there's nothing wrong with earning money, because here's the thing. This is where people get it twisted, is that they think, oh, it looks greedy, or it looks like I'm just trying to get more money for me to buy more things. And that's not what it's about at all. For me to be able to fulfill my purpose of going into all the world and sharing the good news that we have, to be able to fulfill that purpose, I can't do it in my little world. But if I have money that I can donate to my church, to political and nonprofit organizations that are so powerful and mean so much to me, if I can support people, if there's a family in need in my community and I can't go and buy them a week's worth of groceries, that's a terrible place to be. But this company has provided a lifestyle where if somebody needs something, I don't have to check my bank account. I can go and buy them some groceries for the day. That's what money can do for you. It's not just about getting more things. So let's talk about how we can do that and how we earn money in Beachbody. First of all, you have the opportunity to earn 25% commission on any product that's sold through your website. Now, that can be to any customer or client that orders from your website or through your website or that you sell a product to is 25% commission. You also get 25% off all products. So some people say, I don't really want to build this business. I don't really want to have a team. I just love these products, or I really want to try these products for a while, but I don't want to pay full price. And you shouldn't pay full price. You have the opportunity to get 25% off of all the products. You also have an opportunity for team bonuses, and this is where it gets beautiful. I can tell you, whenever I first started this business, just having that 25% commission for my family to take all of my kids to the movies and get popcorn, because that was a big deal for me. It might sound trivial, but there were a lot of tiny little extras that I wanted for my family. To be able to do that, I was able to do that with the commissions that I earned. But it gets huge whenever you begin to build a team and you get a portion for helping that. And let me just clarify this. You don't get a part of someone else's paycheck. Beachbody just rewards you for helping other people succeed. They pay you a bonus. So let's think of this. I like to make it real practical. If I opened up a restaurant and I helped other people come in and learn and train in this restaurant, for them to go out and open another restaurant in another area, and they made money, the company's going to give me a bonus because I helped them succeed. So there are lots of opportunities for bonuses, quarterly bonuses. This is a very exciting time for me. Christmas, because bonus is going to pay for my kids' Christmas.
Yeah,
so
there's cut off in just a minute.
Okay, no pressure to sell ever. Only opportunity to learn and grow. You can do this just for the discount, or like all of us, and build steadfast families, money for our families. And I have some other things I'll share, but I'll go live later and do that. Love y'all.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to get kicked off. So yeah, anything else that you guys want to add, let's go live in the group. So
yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Bye guys. Y'all have a great day.